So the other blowout, this is a good blowout.
It was a great blowout.
This was
mile high.
This was free money.
And
3 more wins. 3 more
But I'm talking
wins.
about yesterday was free money, bro.
Free.
Money doesn't get freer than the money coming in on the damn Broncos.
I made up my mind. If you will allow me to, I'm tailing all your bets for the rest of the year.
Can you tell the people what I am the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, I don't know.
13-2.
I don't know.
13-2. I know.
Yeah.
35-20 on the year. 13-2.
Yeah.
In real life, and listen, when I'm bad, I'm bad, and I've been bad some years. But this year, BetMGM is going to cut me off. I think they're going to cut me off. All right, Broncos. Worst flight is going. No, not worst flight. Anti-Bevel Conway. The anti-Bevel. That was ugly as hell. Can you imagine if the Broncos wore Orange Crush and the Falcons were in the Jeff Georges? Like it
would have been the best.
But instead,
all year.
The newfangled bullshit we have in the NFL now, like those are hideous uniforms. Let's start talking about this. A lot of times in the NFL, you draft a rookie who's old, and Bo Nix looks 31, okay? And he's been in college a long time. And I can remember when he was at Auburn, and then he's at Oregon, and you're like, damn, that feels like a long time ago. And so when you draft an older player, a lot of times you think that player's closer to his ceiling, right? Mm-hmm. You get a polished player, but you're not sure that player's going to develop. But who's to say Sean Payton, one of the greatest offensive coaches of all time,
he's going to shine that puppy up,
is not going to be able to get this guy going. And like the improvement he showed, that throw to Vele over the middle of the field, I was watching all
3 defenders.
That was the loudest noise I made all morning. Was watching that throw.
Nice.
Ridiculous.
You can teach an old dog new tricks.
You can teach an old dog new tricks. And so I just think like from a macro standpoint, like who would have thought that the Broncos would be looking up week 11, not only like successful on the field, but also like maybe we have a franchise quarterback. And nobody would have thought that in the first couple games of the season. We were calling him check down merchant. We were saying,
I mean, they played well against the Bucs, Chris. Like,
I did.
They came to Tampa and they played the Bucs really well, and it looked like that, dude. They were efficient. They were moving they had like multiple 10 to 12 play drives in this game against the Falcons. Falcons defense, I don't really think much of it. You've been saying this for months. They need a pass rusher badly, but like the Bucs have beaten the Lions. Like they're a decent team. They've hung in there with a lot of really good teams. The Broncos might be onto something here, Cowboy. I hope you're a little torqued on this.
Oh,
should
I'm
be
torqued as shit.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
Fully torqued?
Just about.
It's so easy, and I think a lot of the reason we've kind of been looking at the Broncos like this is a fun story is because you weren't sure about the quarterback, and nobody's sure about a quarterback year one. Okay, like I've been pretty sure about Jayden. I'm pretty sure that all these quarterbacks are going to have nice careers. I don't know if they're all going to be like long time, but like this is a good draft class. Okay, freaking the defense on this team, the front,
yeah,
bro. DJ Jones, fucking Cooper setting the edge like right off the bat, bro. Like everybody knows Zach Allen by now if you watch ball. Benito, they're just physical. They're well coached. They rush together. They play the run. They're all interested. They're all glass eaters. When I watched that Jets game earlier this season, I was like, God, I hope this is real. And God's team proved to me that they are real. And we asked earlier, what if if this defense should have a nickname? And who's
Tanner?
Tanner, what was the nickname? Because we call the Broncos God's team. I don't know what is that South Park thing?
No, that's just
you.
Yeah.
Reed thing.
It's their defense is God's D.
God's D.
God's D.
I mean,
wow.
Wow. Now, nobody outside this podcast is going to get that, but that's funny as hell to me.
But guess what? If you want to maybe hit BetMGM for a little bit more money, offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Rookie.
I mean, offensive rookie of the
year.
No,
player of the year. Let him say it. Let him say it. Talk it, facts.
MVP.
Let's hear you, baby.
MVP.
Plus 500 value bet. And I mean, he's in
Definitely
second place, and Jayden Daniels is minus 750. Big gap. But if Jayden Daniels hurt, he sits a few more games, and Bo Nix stays the course.
His ribs are fucked up, and he keeps looking just decent, like he's looked the last couple of weeks, and all of a sudden, this race is wide open because they're not going to give it to Caleb.
No. Absolutely.
And Bo Nix, we started the year being like, wow, look how well set up the Commanders are, or the Commanders. I don't think we were thinking about the fact that the Broncos could really have a franchise quarterback.
Oh, I was.
They're pretty well set up.
That's why I made that bet.
Good on you. You were on it. You were on that, and then you were also on the Dallas Cowboys thing, which I need to remind you, like, I'm sorry about that. I don't want to keep talking about it. I'll send you a check in the mail. But we were all stoned on the back porch of our Buffalo Airbnb. Shout out to Airbnb. And it's 1 a.m. I'm like, let's just look at some bets. And Nate start rattling off all his long odd bets, and we're like, shut up, dude. And then he gets to the Broncos, and he gets to the Cowboys, and he's like, yo. He's like, this bet is gonna hit. He goes, what are the chances the Cowboys lose all their games at home? And we were like, bro, not happening. Like, I don't care how, it's just not happening. The odds were what?
Like plus 300,000.
And what were you gonna bet?
I was like, for real, I don't know why I just didn't put like $1 or $10 on it.
Bro,
like,
you could
just cause.
Bro, I'm so sorry. Now, not to say you got to listen to everything we say, but like we were like, no chance. And they still might not win a game at home. But I'll just say this about the damn Falcons, because I've taken a little shit from Falcons fans on this show. I took shit for you guys last year about Desmond Ridder because I said Desmond Ridder wasn't the guy. You guys gave me shit. This year, you gave me shit because I picked the Bucs to win the division, and they still could, which is a damn shame for y'all because they lost, most of their offense when the receivers
They should still win the division.
Look at their record down the stretch and look what the fumbling ass Falcons have been doing. And listen, my job is to tell the truth. I don't have a damn bias. I got nothing against Kirk. I love Kirk. I got nothing against Raheem Morris. I love Raheem Morris. I love a lot of the players on that team. I hate that you guys have to deal with some of the things you've had to deal with. I mean, I've apologized about 28-3 like 100 times. I felt bad for you. And I owe you like my entire life. Okay? But this team is not that good. They're not that good. And if you can't touch the quarterback, and that's what we said coming to this game, Bo Nix is not going to get touched. The only guy who sacked him was Mike McGlinchey. Mike McGlinchey's back. Okay? And Falcons pass rush, they're following COVID protocol. It's 2024. They don't even get close. Seriously. It's not great. And you can't win like that. You can't win like that. And so I worry about this team down the stretch. Yes, they could win the division. Yes, they get in the playoffs. But what are the chances the Falcons win a Super Bowl?
Nothing. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
So it's good you pick Mike Penix, because I think at some point, and he got some throws yesterday, at some point you're going to turn the page on this, and maybe next year Kirk plays and he plays well and you add some defensive pieces. Listen, you lost your draft pick, right? And then you go out and get Matt Judon, who I told you, like, the Patriots won that damn trade, okay? It's just, if you can't rush the passer, and I'm not boiling it all down to that, but that would make a big difference. It really would.
Right now, the Falcons are 6-5. The Bucs behind them at 4-6. Bucs had a bye week, but they play the Giants in Week 12, Carolina Week 13, and the Raiders in Week 14. Atlanta has a bye week, and then they play the Chargers and the Vikings.
And listen, I'm trying to stay out of the chat. And what's up, Luis Enrique? Thanks for the comment again. I remember you from last week. Verse would have done more for this team. Sure, Verse would have done more for this team, but I still don't think you're there. So I do like grabbing a quarterback that could be the guy in 5 years whenever you can.
He stepped in at the end of this. He had a couple balls.
I like Michael Penix.
Had a couple great throws.
If this starts getting shaky, do you think Raheem's job is?
No.
Okay.
Hell no.
Okay.
He's got a little bit of time.
Okay.
He's got 2 years.
No, listen, and I hope y'all turn it around, but the window is not open right now.
Okay.
And so that's what's weird about the Kirk thing is, like, you got this aging quarterback, and I guess you got to sell tickets, and you got to be competitive, but, like, teams are playing the game, right? This team, had they not drafted Penix, say you get a fucking stud in the first round, and who's to say it would have been Verse? That's assuming you got the right thought in your head, which we know when we talk about quarterbacks, people don't even know half the time. Okay. But the point is, you could add 2 good defensive linemen to this team. I don't think it makes a big difference. I just don't think they're that competitive. So this race is going to be interesting. Let me ask you this question, Bo, and I think I know the answer. If you're hosting a wild card game and it's the Falcons or the Bucs coming into town, who scares you more?
Bucks.
The Bucks with Mike Evans, a little bit healthier. I would agree with you.
I think Mike will be back by then.
I think so too.
Hopefully.
Look at the Falcons' wins, okay? And I hate doing this because it's hard to win the NFL, but like it feels like eons ago they beat the Eagles
by a point.
By a point, and the Eagles were terrible
in a game that
game
they shouldn't have lost. Yeah, should have won. Whatever.
Yeah, now if Saquon catches the ball, all that shit, but all that considered, I just don't think any of their wins are like high quality wins, including the Bucks wins, because I don't think the Bucks are that good right now. Like, you know what I mean? They might win the division, but so I look at they lost the Steelers 18-10. They beat the Eagles. They lost the Chiefs. They beat the Saints. They've been running roughshod through the NFC South. Okay. But they got boat raced by the Seahawks, and now they got boat raced by the damn Broncos. Those are two totally different built teams from other divisions, and it just, you don't look competitive.
And they lost to the Saints the week before the Broncos with Rizzy.
So anyways, I do not hate the Falcons at all. I'm just trying to tell you all the truth.
This is what I think the problem with the Falcons is, dude. They got behind against the Broncos. They're not built at all to come from behind. If they can get their run game rolling early and get up, then they'll be in decent shape.
Yep.
But like they're just not at all built. What was that? 21-3 at halftime.
It's hard to get off the field when you can't rush the passer.
Right.
Hard to get off the field.
I think that was the biggest issue in this game. And then the Broncos were very efficient offensively. They were good. And then I was reading some of the headlines, and Raheem Morris was even talking about that run play where the entire Broncos offense, it felt like came and
picked up Javonte.
He scrummed him. Yeah, exactly. Into the end zone. It's like they just had way more juice, man.
That was like,
Mile High Stadium was kind of popping.
I forgot about that. I kind of want to make that the Bevel Conway, where they like literally guys' little feet are like
off the
ground, and they're just taking your soul.
That's what he said. He was off the ground. Quinn Miners, Ben Powers were pushing that pile.
Awesome.
He said my feet came off the ground and I was still moving. I said it must be Quinn. It was a collective effort. I felt like everybody played well on both sides of the ball.
You think this during the back
special teams too,
back half of the season, having to play in Denver and playing there, that air, you think that's
for sure. When it gets dry there,
yeah.
I remember when Logan Ryan picked off a ball when I played for the Pats, ran it like 90 yards. And you know me, I'm going to let the DBs do the whole celebrate the end zone thing. But I still ran a while. And I got to tell you, we had to go right back out for that's the most gassed I've ever been in my life from a wind standpoint. Like when it gets cold and dry up there. So, and I think they play the brand of football where it works.
Yep.
So, I mean, like, they really have it down. They really have it down.
3 more wins, baby.
And how about people laughing at Sean Payton? And how about people laughing at Russell Wilson? Here's the thing about the NFL. Fits matter. Context matters. We say it all the time. Both those guys are thriving now. Last year,
they both ended up great. They both remarried, and it's good. Look at that. It works out sometimes. There it is.
You know,